out there, they'll be ready to go from kick-off.
And the interchanges for Doncaster on the bench. Nathan Powell, the interchange hooker. Grant Edwards, Cunningham and Robinson on there as well for the selection of Tony Miller, voted, of course, Championship 1 Coach of the Year just this week. In terms of the Barrow Raiders this afternoon then, Andy Ballard plays his 85th and final game before heading to pastures new at fullback together with winger James Nixon, who's just signed up for a 10th season next year. They got those 4 of the grand final winning performances under their belt from 2009. 2 others in the side as well. And in terms of their forward pack as well, another strong pack. Captain Lee Harrison in the second row, one of 6 Championship All-Stars on show between either sides this evening. He is 2 away as well from scoring 100 tries for Barrow.
Yeah, look, it's a very experienced Barrow side, and you know, they're going to be out there today, and they're just going to try and work these forwards over from Doncaster. And you know, Dan Toll, a young bloke that's playing very well. Liam Harrison, since he's moved into the back row, has been absolutely tremendous.
And no Andy Braycheck as well this afternoon. A knee injury picked up playing against Rochdale. And so Andrew Dawson comes into the bench. Darren Holt for his suggestions. So here we are then, Championship 1, the final game of the season, the grand final, the title up for grabs after 8 years of teams 2 to 5 going into the playoffs to decide the second promotion spot. The 4 that have gone up this year, it's back to the title on the line this afternoon. Doncaster table toppers, minor premiers against Barrow, the side that led the division for the majority of the season so far. Dave, how do you see it going this afternoon?
I just think Barrow will be too strong today. I think, you know, a couple of disruptions in the Doncaster side, and you know, although you know, they're bringing in capable replacements, Paul Cook, he creates a lot of things for Doncaster. I just think Barrow, with their experience, the way that they have been playing, I think that they'll get the job done today.
Also with us, Gareth Walker from the League Express. And Gareth, you favour Barrow as well?
I think they probably deserve to be maybe slight favourites, just with the Paul Cook factor, really. But these 2 have been the best 2 teams all year. You know, Workington were up there for a long time, and injuries just hit them hard at the wrong time of the season. I think we're seeing the best 2 teams in the division on display today, and there's not much between them.
There's an important man for Doncaster, Lee Waterman, their fullback. And we just see disappearing out of vision Liam Campbell of the Barrow Raiders. Championship 1 All-Star team he made this year. Interesting at the awards as well this week, the Championship Awards. Doncaster with 4 taken home in their pocket, and Barrow without a single one. But it's the title today that's on the line, that's up for grabs, that is the most important one to both of these 2 sides. So here it is then, the grand final of the Cooperative Championship 1. And it's Doncaster that get us underway. Barrow receiving with Liam Harrison, and already into the action. Of course, Barrow in possession now. They've had a week off, having beaten Doncaster 22 points to 20, inflicting Doncaster's first home defeat of the season in that qualification semi-final. James Dandy at dummy half in. Good defence so far from Doncaster. Kick through, you see that there, first set. Chased down by Tom Hobson, who slips a little bit, but the ball goes back, does it? The referee said no, he knocked it on. It'll be Barrow with the advantage in the early stages of the game, with that scrum ahead and feed just outside that 10.
Well, you know, we've had these all year, haven't we? That one appeared to go back through his legs. So if it's gone back through his legs, it'd suggest to me that it's a knock back. But it's been called knock on by Mr. Lee. But the slippery conditions, it's just bucketed down. It looks like there's just a fine mist of rain at the moment coming through. So it will be very, very slippery underfoot.
It's definitely ease, but Barrow now with a second set with Chris Larkin. Andy out to that right with Gordon edging closer. Now Butler. Plenty blue shirts hanging on. Miss out Duffy, go along the line. It's coming through to Aaron Lowe. couldn't quite get on the end of it though, and so Lucas Walshaw, one of the 6'5" men on the field today, almost 2 metres tall, picks up the ball and brings it away for Doncaster's first real possession.
Yeah, disappointing pass from Campbell there. It wasn't very good at all, and you know, he had no way other than to trap it with his foot, but just let Doncaster right off the hook there with that poor set.
Mike Emmett then hooking for Doncaster. Floats it back this time for the kick. Into space. James Nixon's there. Runs nicely for him. No knock on this time. And here's a run, almost sneaks the way past Lucas Walshaw.
Wait, guys. Wait, not down the ball. Stand up, James.
We've seen both teams kick early there, Ian, haven't we? I just wonder whether Dave thought that might be a premeditated tactic in the conditions for the coaches just to play for territory.
Yeah, it could have been, you know, like, but I would have liked them to take a few more, just to get their rhythm and get into the game and just build a little bit of pressure. There's a strip there from Doncaster, so a penalty to Barrow, but just, you know, he's kicked from well inside his half, and he's just given them a lot of metres, the Barrow side, and now it's compounded with that penalty.
It's early momentum with the Barrow Raiders finishing second in the league, just 1 point behind Doncaster at the end of the regular season. Nice little slide through from Harrison. Of course, the brother of Ben. Now into Duffy. Man who signed for Lee next year. He's dandy again. Harrison doing more work as they float the ball along the line. Through the hands of Ballard. Out to the wing. And they've squeezed in the corner with Chris Larkin. The opening try, a couple of consecutive sets for Barrow. And they make it pay. They lead by 4 points to 0.
Well, I thought Larkin had bombed it for a minute there. He stayed upright. If it had been me, I would have been diving because he would have slid straight over with the way that the ground's so wet. But we see it here. It's just a neat little set play that's gone out wide through the hands of both halves, Campbell and Kagan. And Ballard, a neat pass on. And Larkin just got the 4-pointer. Very, very well-worked play there. Just with some players coming from the opposite side, spinning back around, and a well-worked try.
Did score the second try in the qualifying semi-final, did Chris Larkin. Into double figures for the season in terms of 4-pointers. Barrow with the early lead.
And I think that will show as well how important penalties are going to be today in these conditions, because not only did we have that early kick from Doncaster that, as Dave said, gifted them some kind of field position, then conceded a penalty, and if you give away territory and position and possession in conditions like that, it's going to be tough for you. I'm sure that message is going out from Tony Miller straight away.
Ballard just dragged the kick across the front of the sticks. Kicks 8 goals so far this year. Couldn't quite slot that one over on his 85th and final game for Barrow, but it's the man Chris Larkin there who scored the opening 4 points of the fixture. And we fired up, having had a week off, beaten Doncaster a couple of weeks ago. Kick along the turf. Ball's just in front of Ballard. Strong run. Chris Spur takes the tackle for Doncaster. And through that space, Ballard just juggles it out in front of him. Hangs on though. Squeezing the accelerator pedal now, Doncaster. The kick ricocheted out into touch. The referee says it'll be head and feet to Doncaster. Not played at, he says.
Yeah, he's called not play. Strange move from Harrison there to kick. You know, it was early tackles again, and there was nothing on with the kick, and he just kicked it. I thought it was played at, but Jamie Lee was right on the spot and has just won referee of the year, hasn't he? So he must be right.
Lee Hannay with a huge hit on Lee Waterman. Both sides fired up for this one. Ball comes free. Barrow forcing the error.
And that was Hannay again, 2 massive hits within the space of 2 tackles and coming back into the side. I'd said that Darren Holt said how good he's been all year, and he's shown it in defence there.
Fans appreciating the action as well. Dandy goes himself this time, had support.
Yeah, he's tried a little one-handed offload. You can't afford to do those sorts of things in these conditions. It's just raining again now, so, you know, the ball's very slippery. It's slippery underfoot, and you can't afford to carry the ball and try little offloads like that one-handed, and there's no need for it. Just build some pressure and make them have to come out of backfield.
Spires for Doncaster, progressing up to the 40. Emmett now finds Lucas Walshaw, who gets the offload away. Too much space opening up, though. Duffy's there to bring that play to a close. Setting up on that 20 then. Doncaster with Walshaw winning a penalty as well. Relieves a little bit of pressure in terms of the tackle count numbers. Fresh set from 10 metres out. The referee is making sure they're all back onside as well.
Yeah, they did look like they were offside there, and, you know, that's a poor penalty. Tackle 5 penalty. It's something that Darren Holt wouldn't want to have, and, you know, like, that's just inviting them into that to get some points.
Using the width on that left-hand side. Almost sneaks in front of that Barrow line. The ball's gone to ground. The referee's bringing play back. It says it's been knocked on. So Barrow thought they got away. But Doncaster with another fresh set.
He's made the right call there. It was touched by the Barrow man and knocked forward. So he's made the right call, and scrum feed for Doncaster.
So it's squeezed out there. It's Keswick trying to get the extra pass away. Hands in, no. With Waterman now. Spur, the former Featherstone, Barrow, York, Rochdale man. Up to that 10 as they move with Kelly now. 3 men, 1 around the middle, 1 around the bottom, 1 taking the top. Hands again, couldn't quite get it away, could Keswick. Forcing it again, it's gone to ground. There was a hand in there as well. Which way will he give it this time? He's giving it to Doncaster.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have gone that way that time. It's the same man. It's the centre out there, Larkin. I wouldn't have gone that way. I thought he was trying to make the tackle there, and you know, that's a rule that I think a lot of coaches debate. If you're going in to make the tackle, he was looking at the man. He wasn't looking at the ball. He was trying to make the tackle, and he has knocked the ball down. But you know, I think it's benefited the Doncaster side.
Ball went to ground. Managed to keep possession, though. In the eyes of the referee of Doncaster, looking to force Mike Kelly into touch, but he's just inside. Now Emmett. Into Hughes. Bounced up on there, wasn't he? By Jamie Butler. No space for Emmett either. It's not going down easily. But to get the ball away as well. They kept hold of it. It's out the back door, on the turf, but a bit of ingenuity. Charge through as well, looking for the line. Stuart Sanderson. Has he got the ball down? The referee stopped the play. He's going to have a look at it. And so is the video ref.
We're just checking the grounding. Is there a double movement? Does he ground this ball? Well, there's always momentum. So he's over the line now. So there's not a problem with the double movement. He's still got it. He's still got it in his hand. Still got it in his hand. Still got it. And he forces it down with his torso. That's a try. Jamie, that's a try.
The try given for Stuart Sanderson, then he's 8th of the season. He was in the Championship 1 All-Star team. Scored 2 last weekend as well, the Whitehaven lad. Another try for his name as well this evening, forcing his way over.
Yeah, great effort from Stu Sanderson there. There was a loose ball from Waterman out the back. Sanderson's picked the ball up. He's beat 3 or 4, and he's done a great job to bring the ball back inside, away from the traffic, and just busted through a couple of would-be tackles. Ballard did his best, or it wasn't Ballard there, sorry, it was Larkin, did his best to try and hold the man up, but just too strong, Sanderson, and he planted it down for a 4-pointer. That all comes on the back of a couple of errors, a couple of drop balls, a couple of penalties.
And I think just as concerning here for Workington will be the fact that we've got Scott Kagan down there, for Barrow, sorry. Scott Kagan's gone down there attempting to make that tackle. He's caught one to the head and he's still receiving treatment, so the Workington standoff here could be looking at a trip to the sidelines.
A missed conversion as well for Doncaster, so it's just 4 points apiece. But here we see again Sanderson, that wiry run, eventually getting that ball down, getting it down with your torso, top half of your body. Surefire try, 4 points apiece it is. Here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, the rain coming down a bit harder as well. 4 points apiece. Slamming over the head of Keswick. From the restart. Queuing up behind the ball to bring it forward for Doncaster. Emmett takes it himself a few metres, nicely fed into Mike Kelly. Interference at play of the ball. Wins himself a penalty, Doncaster. Smart play.
Well, you know, the Barrow men are complaining about it, but he had no other option than to penalise the Barrow man. He didn't really make an effort to get away. He just lied still, thinking that he was doing the right thing. But as soon as it's interfered with there, he's got to give that penalty. So, you know, another very late tackle penalty that Barrow have conceded, and it just gifts Doncaster, you know, into the 20-metre area of Barrow.
Barrow have won 2 of the 3 fixtures between these two sides ahead of this 4th and final meeting this season. Doncaster were unbeaten at home until 2 weeks ago. Don't have a great record either, Doncaster, against the sides from Cumbria this season when not playing at home. Went behind, but now level, 4 points apiece, pushing on as well. There's Emmett standing in. Here's Waterman, playing his 27th appearance, or 28th appearance of the season. Into Fawcett with the kick. Chases there, men underneath it, but the ball spilled, but it was seen safe by Doncaster. Now tap on their 20.
He called that very quick to say that he caught the ball. He was hardly down on the floor, and he called it to say that he'd taken it. Oh, geez, a tough call that one, Gareth.
I thought it might have been worth a second look at least, but he had blown his whistle and called a catch-in goal, so Barrow now have the chance to come off their own line.
Making good metres, Barrow in this set. Dandy in at dummy half. Plenty supporters as well. It's Harrison, playing for his hometown club, having joined in 2006, drives them into that Doncaster half. Duffy again. Just haphazardly throws the ball out the back, but Gordon picks it up. Kick along the turf into the space. Chasers on as well. Is it going to run dead? Just.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on it. And a very smart play, but good move here from Doncaster. Very quick tap. They've attacked the side where all the chasers were, so they couldn't get back on side. But very well picked up there.
Great tackle from Kagan as well. Spinning the play around, just biding a bit more time for his defensive teammates. Spire's taken down as well. Kick from inside the 40. Heading towards the touchline, not quite. Be picked up by Ballard. Take your pick.
That's obviously a ploy of Doncaster today. They're going to kick early because that was tackle 3, and they've jumped out of dummy half and put that kick in from Emmett, and you know it never looked like going anywhere near the sideline. So you know they just must think that they want to just keep turning them around, and if they can hold their defensive line, the Barrow side are going to have to run a lot of metres to get through.
If he's doing a fair bit of work for Barrow out on that right side, James Gordon. Final play. Boot on ball. Nicely taken. Tackle immediately deployed by James Nixon. Appeals her forward. Tight from Barrow. These couple of tackles so far. Lucas Warshaw was getting nowhere then, was he? Little low from Emmett. He was trying to find Chris Spurt. Stooped down, but knocks on. And Barrow, with that intense defensive effort, have forced an error.
Yeah, you know, it was on the back of a poor kick. The kicking games are completely different. Doncaster are kicking long and trying to make Barrow work. Barrow, on the other hand, you know, that one, they've put it up high and just tried to put some pressure on. It was a nothing kick, really. Didn't give him any distance in the kick. But then a poor play from Emmett, getting out of dummy half in these conditions, threw one down around the knees, and Spur couldn't pick it up. And should have been caught, but a poor pass at the same time.
It's Jamie Butler keeping the legs going. Another strong run as well. It's Mike Kelly into his opposite number. Squeezed through. Nicely taken by Liam Harrison. Couldn't make the extra couple of metres needed. There's Ballard. He's giving it to Duffy, but Duffy says the referee says it went forward going to Duffy. It'll be no try. And Doncaster come back up with their ball.
I'd like to see that one again. Yeah, it was a touch and go one, and whether it was forward or not, I don't know. He's called that from, you know, 3 or 4 metres in front of it. Ballard steps out. Oh,
it's difficult to see from there.
Looked like he threw it back from that angle, but that's the front on angle. You can't really tell from there. This might give you a better look. Oh, yeah, well, that looks forward there, doesn't it? But I think it's the way Ballard's going backwards as well and throwing the ball.
No try it was, though. Having forced that error, Doncaster building back out their own half now. Arms flailing. And Spires again.
Spires has got through some work, hasn't he, in this opening 20 minutes? He's done plenty of work for Doncaster up front. Very impressive.
Back to force it, charged down, claimed again. And they're charging through now. Lovely tackle deployed, though. Craig Robinson trying to find a bit of space, but he kept the ball going. Found that left-hand side, but the referee's going to pull things back. It'll be no try. All rather fancy, but the referee brings it back and says it's Barrow's ball.
Yeah, we're watching it again now. Yeah, definite forward pass there. Probably only 1.5 metres, 2 metres, but good call from the touch judge there. But, you know, charge down, kick again, charge down, another set of 6. Should have just been a little bit more patient in good field position.
I just wondered then, Dave, whether he might have kicked him behind as well, because Ballard had made the tackle before. There was no full-back in there. Opted to pass, obviously. We've had one disallowed at each end now.
Yeah, certainly. He could have done that. We've come up with a knock-on here from in the play of the ball from Barrow. So, geez, they're just open and really inviting Doncaster into this game just to keep that pressure on. But he could have done that. Ballard was up there, and it would have been an easy play. But again, in these conditions, I'd like to see him just try and play out their sets just to build some pressure a little bit and make the other side work, because it's going to be heavy on the legs, and if they've got to keep coming out of backfield like they have been, it'll be very, very difficult for them.
Lee Waterman again trying to find more space, and now Robinson in the skull cap. Setting up nicely centre field. Respires again with another drive from him. options both sides. Emmett's had a look. Misses out Robinson. Offers it back through Kyle Keswick. He's through into Walshaw. A metre short. Back to Keswick. Floating over the interception. Then offered back as well.
Just poor play from Doncaster. You know, they didn't look like going anywhere. Trying to go wide. Keswick, he just threw a speculator out wide, and it was well taken out there by the Barrow man, and just relieved all the pressure. Barrow had opened it up for him to give him an opportunity, relieve pressure, and just some poor play.
I guess, Dave, this is where we really see the absence of Paul Cook, because if there's anything to his game, it's picking the right option on the late tackles, isn't it?
I was thinking exactly the same thing. This is where his experience. Barrow have now just come up with another drop ball on just, well, what, 45 out, and Doncaster got the ball again. But I was thinking exactly the same thing. Paul Cook just has that calming influence on him. They just look like they're a playmaker short at the moment, Doncaster. He's been just, you know, pulling the strings all season, and without him now, someone's got to step up and do that.
Chris Spur had 4 red shirts around him, wrapping him up. Hodson now. He's got the 7th most number of tries in Championship 1 this season. Robinson it was that took that hit. Support there, but they're through with Hughes. Now to Robinson. He's got the ball away again. Now with Edwards. So it was Powley, in fact.
Right side.
Now into Spurs. Fawcett has it again. The kick's a long way to that far side. Tapped back as one of his players had slipped and was on the floor. And a knock on, it looks like, on the floor there. Trying to pick the ball up. It'll be Barrow again. Just seeing that these conditions are playing their part this afternoon.
I think he's going to get Barrow for a knock on here, but you know, another poor option. They just look a little bit lost for me, you know, and Fawcett, he's kicked that ball across field there. There was nothing doing. There was no reason to kick. The players out wide, I thought, were either right in line with him or up in front of him, and just very, very scrappy play.
Into that second quarter now, as we see Doncaster boss there, Tony Miller, Championship 1 Coach of the Year. Both coaches have done an exceptional job, really, considering the situations that the clubs were in ahead of the season. Step inside from Barrow. The ball's come away, though, as Harrison tried to push his way through, but the referee says it was an illegal steal and pulls up the penalty.
He's certainly getting through plenty of work again, Liam Harrison, and he's had his hands up for drives every time they've had the ball, Barrow. Another good run there. Be interesting to see the replay on whether that was a strip, but it's given them another good opportunity. They've not been down this end for a few minutes.
I think he's much improved. I think since they've moved him from the centres, his work rate's increased enormously, and he really does do a lot of work. He sticks his hand up for work now, whereas before he just used to be, you know, quite a lazy player and used to wait for the ball. Now he's really getting involved, and he's been outstanding for him.
And can the captaincy have an effect on that as well, Dave, giving a player like that a captaincy?
Giving him that confidence, and, you know, he's got to lead by example, and, you know, he can't just hang around and wait for things to happen.
A couple of interchanges made by both sides as well, as Dan Toll, playing his 25th game, pushes on. Referees brought up play, touch judges on the far side as well. We'll have a chat.
He's come on from the opposite side of the field, so you've got to ask why the touch judge on this side or the referee hasn't seen something. He's called out a Doncaster player. Is that the hooker, Emmett?
Yeah.
It's too late. It's a penalty off the ball
Said
tackle.
laid off the ball.
No. We're over there, it's a penalty. Okay.
Penalty given to Barrow for an off-the-ball tackle.
Goal.
And they're going to go for 2 as well.
Oh, strange decision, that one. I don't know whether that's the coach's call. We're just watching that replay again. Yeah, good call. Penalty there. He has taken him out late, just off the ball. Dumb penalty from Emmett. Very, very silly, but you know, it's a good call from the referee Lee there. But I would have been taking the tap. I think you know, this is the first time they've had the ball down in the opposition 40, and they haven't had to build any pressure whatsoever. And first time they get a chance, they're going to take 2 if he slots it over, which he should do right in front. But I would have liked to have seen him just have the ball. Strange way of putting the ball on the tee. Look at that, he's using two little cones there rather than using a kicking tee. And you know, you see kids do that in the play, you know, when they're practicing at training, and you know, when you're having a kick around at training, if you haven't got a kicking tee, it's a very strange way to kick a goal in a grand final.
Well, he didn't get the conversion for the try. The first run of the game scored by his teammate Larkin. But that one goes between the two and over the bar. The extra 2 points. And the points in the bag they see as slightly more important than having a go at 6 and registering the 4. 6 points to 4 they lead now, Barrow.
This is a very important set now for them because, like I said, they haven't been down this end of the field at all in the last probably 10-15 minutes. So this set here is very, very important. The last couple of times they've brought the ball out of backfield, they've come up with some spills. So Doncaster need to be squeaky clean, no penalties, and Barrow on the other hand need to get to a kick. They need to play up 5 and they need to drive the ball down deep.
Regulation kicking tee be used by Craig Fawcett to get the play back underway, and Bollard's back in possession as well. Those flashy yellow boots. This little run around from Finch. Bollard offers it back, and an early kick as well from Kagan. It's made Waterman run quite a long way out their left-hand side, but he's sneaked his way down the touchline. There's a man coming across. He's got inside him, and he's got support as well. The first man, though, just on his inside there. Carl Keswick was offside, so couldn't use him. Now they've got 40 extra metres further downfield. Here's Spur. Barrow's decision to kick early didn't pay off that time. Juggled in front by Emmett, but manages to keep possession. Here's Powley again at dummy half into Robinson. Through to Fawcett. Looking for options, decides to keep hold this time. And just 2 men on this right-hand side. Little kick through, no real support. And picked up, but a high tackle put in, and Duffy's gone in as well. It's Nathan Powley that upset Duffy.
That's silly from Harrison to run in like that. You know, the referee blew the penalty straight away for the high tackle, and it's silly for him to run in like that. He can get himself in all sorts of trouble. But again, the kicking game from both sides has been poor. You know, you look at that kick from Barrow there, kicking early. If you're going to kick early, you've got to kick smart. It's no good. You can hear the referee calling him offside. So straight away, Waterman picked the ball up and ran 40 metres and brought it back. You know, there's no point kicking if you're going to be, you know, kicking early and you're offside for the chase. You can't put any pressure on, and it is a short kick.
So Barrow with another set now. What will they do with this one? Doncaster have pushed them back to the 30. Strong stuff from Ruari McGough. Gets the ball away. Charging through now with Dan Toll. Offloads it. Liam Campbell, though, taken down to the turf. Bollard's there to pick it from dummy half. Plenty men out on that right-hand side. Going again with Ruari McGough. Miss out Duffy. There's Dawson. Piling on the pressure. There's plenty sliding across to this left-hand side as well. No space that time. And 5 tackles used up. On the final play then. What can Barrow force this time? Spreading the play. Kick from Kagan. Just kept in. Palmed back down. Kept alive as well. Kept it going. And again. And the kick. No chase. And picked up by Doncaster.
Hey, they blew 4 points there. They should have kept going out to the right. They had a stack of numbers out on that right-hand side. Ballard elected to come back the other way. Just went backwards on that last play. A poor kick on the end of the set. Now they've turned the ball over, and now they've given away a penalty. Very, very poor play. Another high shot from the Barrow side.
Just couldn't finish off that move.
You just feel at the moment like the game's ready for someone to take it by the scruff of the neck. One of the half-backs to stand up and say, I'm going to stamp my authority on the game, take a couple of right options, because both sides have had field positions and tackles in the bag, and just taking the wrong options at the moment. We're looking now for someone to step up and perhaps put on that play to score a try.
10 minutes to play in this first half of the Cooperative Championship 1 Grand Final. Barrow with that slender lead. Here come Doncaster, though. Finished top of the table in their first trophy in their 61-year history. Again in the minor premiership. They'd love to make it a double. And a nice little slide through as well from Hughes. Harrison had his measure. A little bit of space as Carl Keswick bounces around, trying to find his way up to that line. It's a turnover ball. Barrow with 98 metres to go now.
Yeah, they've turned it over in a good field position there. They didn't have to kick because, you know, they're happy to turn it over there. But look, both sides are trying to play flashy, dry weather footy at the moment. And, you know, grand finals, they're always tough. They're always, you've got to grind them out. You've got to do all the little things right. You can't afford to make errors. You can't afford to give away penalties. And you've got to grind the game right to the end, rather than play that flashy footy.
Doncaster on their fourth tackle now, just escaping that 20-metre line. Using hands this time to get the ball out to that right-hand side. Larkin palmed off a couple, he's still going as well. Wrapped up this time. Valuable run from Larkin, the opening try scorer of the game. Kick again on the final tackle, forcing Waterman back into his in-goal area. You see how slippy it is when losing his footing. Got round the first man, hit the second. Doncaster now tackle one on that 20-metre line. So what options have they got now? Skipping away from another tackle as well. Just greasy conditions maybe helping them slide through.
Working, wait. Go. Okay, 40.
Kick again on tackle 3, and it's gone from inside the 40, has it, into the 20?
Just short, no, just short. I think short by about a quarter of a metre.
Head and feed then to Barrow. Let's have a look at this one. So, well inside that 40-metre mark. There we go.
He's well inside. If you give him an extra couple of metres because he was well inside, well, then you can give it a 40-20. But unfortunately, it bounced out, and the rules don't allow that. So
still
scrum feed to Barrow.
Field position down that end.
There's another early kick as well. They kicked, I think it was tackle 4, so another early kick from them. So they're content with doing that. We're kicking the ball early, and their defence so far has held up.
Well, the defence last week, they held Workington out, winning by 20 points to 0. It's always tough being defence, and you'd have thought kicking as well. They're soaking up that pressure.
Yeah, they are. They're doing a good job at the moment. Barrow aren't offering up a lot. They're a lot of one-out footy. They're not pushing up off the ball, and they're not, you know, turning the ball back on the inside in wet conditions. If you can turn it back on the inside and just make them have to adjust their footing, you usually do get some joy.
Pressure on Kagan's kick there. Picked up by Waterman. Scored 166 points in 2012 so far. He's the fullback.
He's good to watch as a fullback, isn't he, as well? He attacks the ball every time. He's looking to beat players. Although he's, you know, primarily a centre, he's really switched well to his new position.
Now Robinson. Powley couldn't find a gap. It's Robinson at dummy half into Fawcett. It's a bit of a low kick over the top. Run dead. Doncaster will just set their defence on that 30-metre line and wait for the onrush of Barrow.
Yeah, nothing kick there from Fawcett again. You know, just dribbled the ball down, went straight into touch or into the in goal and over the dead ball line. So just some easy meters for Barrow to pick up, but it's just lacking a little bit at the moment, this game. You know, I think Gareth alluded to it before, that someone's got to take the game by the scruff of the neck and just, you know, put on a big shot or you know, make half a break and just really open the game up a little bit.
It's the final 5 minutes then of this first half. First of a bumper 2 games for you as the ball's bumped off as well. Barrow surrendering possession on halfway. Of course, we've got Featherstone against Sheffield Eagles at 4:30 here on Premier Sports Extra. We're watching the Championship 1 Grand Final right now. Doncaster against Barrow.
Well, that's great work there by Robinson. You know, he shot up out of the line, and Big McGrath, he's come up with a drop ball from the shoulder hit, and you know, that could be what Doncaster need going into these last 5 minutes. Scrum on the halfway, set of 6. They'll be looking to build. He's kicked early, kicked from the scrum.
Kick over the top then. It's Ballard who's forced to run back and claim it. He has. He's got one man to try and get around. He couldn't get around Hodgson though.
Only 7 back.
Well, you know, if you're going to do that sort of thing, you've got to disguise it a little bit. And he caught the ball and straight away looked to kick, and Ballard read it very, very well. And, you know, he took a lot of time to kick it as well. So it allowed Ballard a little bit more time to get back, and he did a great job to get back and get the ball.
It's definitely a tactic of theirs, isn't it, that kick game today, early in the set. Powley hanging on to the shirt there of Dan Toll as he was trying to get through. Little chip kick. It's come off the back of a Doncaster player. The referee says it's a knock on though, has he? Giving head and feet to Doncaster there. He says that the little kick tried by Kagan didn't quite come off, and that he's knocked the ball on.
Again, it was just some dumb play. You know, it was a poor pass from dummy half. Kagan's then he's tried to beat Castle and got grabbed. He's knocked the ball on. He's put a little kick over it. It's come off the back of one of the Doncaster players, and then he's knocked the ball on when he was trying to pick it up. But it's not what you need, you know, with a couple of minutes to go before half-time, trying a little chip like that inside your own half.
Powley with that drive for Doncaster. Now, Robinson again, who having come off the bench, has taken up a lot of the work, but the pressure there from Barrow forcing the error, and high fives all around, taps on the head. Doncaster with Robinson there dropping the ball, Barrow winning it back.
Well, good work from the captain Harrison there. He's charged in and put his shoulder in and come up with an error. So real good work from him. He's setting that example. So a few of these other Barrow boys need to follow it. The supporters are trying to urge them on, trying to get them going. So, you know, they need to finish this half off well.
Aaron Lowe with that drive for Barrow. Ballard spins it out to that right-hand side as they push further on. Just trying to nudge themselves further downfield in these closing few seconds of the first half.
Dawson's been good as well, hasn't he, for Barrow since he's come on. He's made yards every time he's took the ball up. Another decent drive there, and that's more of what they need.
Harrison takes that 5th tackle. So here's the final play from Barrow. Into the sky from Kagan. Almost underneath it there, Sanderson.
Well, Sanderson takes that ball and he runs 70 metres and scores. He dropped it, another set of 6 on his line now. His defensive team have to really aim up big here.
Can they keep Barrow out in these final few seconds of the first half? They backed themselves last week, keeping Workington to zip. I'm going to need some sort of defensive effort in these final few seconds, but they can't. They've been breached. The ball's been offered back, and they still can't push on that far. Barrow,
what a tackle
metre
by
away.
Mike Castle there.
Mike Castle with the tackle. Robinson on that time. This time going out on the right-hand side. Offload again. No extra people, no support around, so
they're going
taking the tackle.
They're going backwards.
20 seconds of this first half to go. They're looking for the extra one, the drop goal in front of the sticks. Kagan puts the ball over. 7 points to 4, their lead at half-time. making that little possession pay at the end of the game. And there is the half-time hooter. Sneaky one.
Hey, look, it's a funny scoreline, that, isn't it? 7-4, but there was nothing else on. He was going to put the ball up in the air, but he elected to go for that 1 point, so that could become very, very vital later on in the game.
Well, it's been tight. It's been not the best conditions. The rain has eased off a little bit, though, but very slippery conditions and not the best exhibition game you've seen. It's gone one way, it's gone the other.